Traders, if you were offered the choice of having a filter or not having a filter, choose the filter. Trust me. And I don't even smoke. And welcome everyone to the Indicator Profile series. We are going over the Laguerre Filter this week. We've done a few things with Laguerre. There's a lot to do with Laguerre if you want to. Some really interesting work here and some really useful indicators, including this one. But before we get too into things, if you're new, understand you're at the #1 indicator channel in all of YouTube. It was always that way. It's always going to be that way. But we talk and do things a very particular way. And if you don't understand that way, then you're not going to understand much of anything. So go to nononsenseforex.com. Read that first page. Watch that first video. Get yourself caught up. And once you do, you can rejoin us. But for those of us who are already here, let's go ahead and go into the specs. For the Laguerre Filter, the year is going to be 2006. The type is going to be a baseline. So subtype, it's just a baseline. It's very basic looking. You'll see that in a moment. And as far as exits go, you guys know, baselines already have a bit of a built-in exit feature. Sometimes you're going to need an actual exit indicator for everything else. So I can't recommend that here. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at her. She looks like this. If you don't know by now, once price crosses and closes above the baseline, that is your signal to go long, or at least your green light to go ahead and go long. And then conversely, once it crosses and closes the other way, that is your signal to go short. Pretty darn easy. So we're going to go see how this did with our testing. But before we do that, understand, nothing you're about to see really matters in the grand scheme of things. The only thing that does matter is how it performs in your system, and you must test that yourself. Well, I don't know how to do that, VP. Well, that's fine. We got you covered. Down below in the description, we have a link to my automation blog, which has an embedded video showing you how to test these things yourself on the MT4 strategy tester. You're also going to get the blog if you want to know the tweak settings that we don't show you here. If you want to know anything nerdy or historically about this thing, that is where you're going to find it. You're going to get a link to that. You're also going to get a link to Dan Stone's YouTube channel. If you didn't know, Dan is the one who does the blog and does most of our testing. And he has his own YouTube channel where he will show all of these indicators moving in real time on the 1-minute chart to show you that it doesn't repaint. And it just adds a little extra color and information about these things that I probably don't. So make sure you check that out too. Now, if you want to submit an indicator for possible profiling on this channel, we have done a small handful of them, but you can't win if you don't play. You got to send it to this email address. That is step 1. The email address provided in the description. And then finally, the most popular place in all of the information superhighway, it is the link to our indicator library, where you can download the Laguerre Filter and every indicator we have profiled here on the show. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, please remember, this is a baseline. We do not hold baselines to the same standards as we do confirmation indicators. This is one of the final pieces of the puzzle here. And this is also my way of saying expect lower results as usual. So with the EURUSD, even though I just got done saying this is a baseline, I'm still not a big fan of these ROIs. Pretty low. But what we've been really trying to do is give you something that we can fit to have a really big win-loss ratio. So when you start forward testing it, you can still get a really great win-loss ratio, because something like that with a baseline is pretty important and pretty valuable. So I think we have certainly achieved that here. Now, moving on to gold. Again, ROIs, sub 10 on gold per year, I'm not very happy with, but this could be quite useful. And you just have to decide if the amount of signals is to your liking or not. Because I think any baseline with that kind of win-loss ratio can be very useful in a system. Over to the S&P, probably average as far as ROI goes, but again, we're getting that 3 out of 4 win-loss ratio here, which is nice. And then over to Bitcoin, probably decent on the ROI and good on the win-loss ratio too. And that's really all I have to say about that. Baselines, you guys know how they are. You add them on, they enhance your system, they eliminate losses, which is why we focus on this. and it ends up making your system a lot better, and it has that built-in exit feature sometimes. So please add this one to your collection. Please test it in your own system and see what you think about it. And we will continue to bring this heat, to bring this fire to you in the form of the Indicator Profile series, also the Trading Psychology podcast, also the 10-Minute Contrarian Investing podcast. Subscribe, hit the bell. You don't want to miss any of this. We are here for you. Our goal is to make you better at everything in all things finance. Now go get it.